Hey guys, welcome to today's 1/6 Galaxies video. Today we are going to be taking a look at VGM 53, that being the Scout Trooper Commander from Hot Toys. So this is a advanced release, as you would say, as I did order this from Toys Buying Agent. It was around 365 Australian shipped, which I think is relatively good considering that Pop Culture's pre-order price is about 385 AUD shipped. Of course, if you do use your pennies, you can bring it down to about 335, or you can do the bulk order, 10%ing it, bringing it down to about 350 something. So whichever way you go, I'm sure you won't be disappointed with this figure if you are a trooper collector like myself. But yes, I do believe Toys Buying Agent did put it up slightly because I qualified for free postage, but I noticed that that just after I received this, the free postage went away. So I did receive this earlier in the week. It's just that I haven't had a chance to actually do anything with him yet. Alrighty, let's get this started. So it is the standard shoebox style box that we know for all the Star Wars Hot Toys. You can see an image of the figure there, and it's going to tell us that it's from Star Wars, and then we get that ribbon telling us who he is and the fact that he is VGM 53. This ribbon is just going to have the name and the Hot Toys logo and everything. The back of the box does have your warning labels and everything, and then this side of the box gives us a look at the figure in an alternate pose, because there are a few different poses that you can pull off this guy, and I think is really cool that they gave us different options. So being the shoebox, we do obviously have the art insert. This one here features two Scout Trooper commanders, one on the speeder bike, the baton out, and the other one is just kind of standing there waiting. So yeah, nice image, lots of effects, the sort of stuff that we're used to. Alright, this guy does come with a total of 6 hands. Now I have taken one relaxed hand off for the gripping hand, just because I wanted to see how hard it was to actually put the baton in his hands, as sometimes with these figures, getting them to grip different weapons can be quite hard. So we are going to get a fist. So you can see that it's the Biker Scout glove that we've used to seeing. We've seen it a couple of times now with the Mandalorian Biker Scout, and of course the Return of the Jedi Biker Scout. So it's here as well, very nicely sculpted and painted to look kind of rubbery despite being plastic. Now the baton can be wielded in either hand, so you do have this one here, and you can see that the glove has changed, so it's got these wirings in it, and then it's got the metal plate there, of course plastic, but it looks the part. Nothing really new to the inside of the glove, but yeah, that detailing there is quite cool. So he's obviously been posted for a while, and his gloves are quite old or worn. Now you are going to get this hand again, however it is for holding the sidearm. So he does still come with his Biker Scout sidearm despite being the baton version of the enemy as we see in the video game. So the fact they still gave us the option to have the sidearm is awesome. And then you're going to get the other relaxed hand. As I said, I took this off for the gripping hand on the baton. So most of this is stuff that we have obviously seen before, as I said, except for the new design on the secondary glove. But we do see that we have the sidearm, very nicely detailed. and it still does fit into the leg of the figure. So you also do get the battery pack, which I have assembled just to show you how it goes. But most importantly, our newest accessory is, of course, the baton itself. So we get a effect for it, so you can have it as appearing charged or uncharged. Does a pretty good job. It is a little bit fiddly to set up, but then of course we have the stun baton itself, so you can see the prongs there, really nicely detailed and painted. See the battery pack for it there on the side, and then of course we can extend it out to have it charged up. So pretty cool. Again, you can see the gripping section of that as well. And then this just fits in either of the hands. Now the instructions are a bit, like I said, it is a bit fiddly. The instructions just say to kind of weave it through like so, and then try and have like the top. Yeah, it's quite hard to get it to stay in one place without the electric effect kind of moving around the place. But I generally find that having it like this looks alright. It is a little bit different to what the instructions say, because the instructions say to have the electricity running all the way around, but I just find that having it like that sort of gets it to sit without it falling around too much, because I have yeah, it does tend to fall off quite easily, similar to some of the effects that we get with the Thor figures. So of course he does have his display stand. It is that standard floor that we've gotten for a while now, but it's a Scout Trooper Commander, so that is something cool. At least they just didn't use a Scout Trooper one. Alrighty, let's get him out here. So obviously for the most part this is going to be a normal Scout Trooper, and you can see that the weathering kind of matches up to the Scout Troopers that we've gotten before. So they could have just used said Scout Troopers and put the pauldron and stuff on him, but of course we can see that Scout Trooper, we of course can see that Scout Trooper helmet. You can see that it is lightly weathered. Even the top of the helmet is lightly weathered, so we can see the pauldron. You can see the new strappings for the harnesses. You can see the red wirings. You can see the electronics there as well. The wiring running under the armor as well, so you can see that relaxed hand with the plate. You can see that other gripping hand there as well. So going down, you can see that he has the normal chest armor for the Scout Trooper, which is weathered. You can see that part there coming down to those waist packs, and then you of course have the standard Scout Trooper knee armor and boots, very nicely weathered, and then you see that slot for storing the sidearm. As I said, it is quite cool that they've included the sidearm and given you the option, so you can have him gripping the unlit baton with the sidearm, or you can just have him with the sidearm. So yeah, it's a couple of different options for you. So coming around again, you can see that weathering on the helmet's continued. You can see that the pauldron is also very nicely weathered. You can see more of those wirings. Now the battery pack does come, so it is something you need to do, and I'll touch on that. It's probably my only gripe with this figure. It's a very minor gripe, but I'll get to it when I get to it. So you can see the armor is very nicely weathered, and of course you have the holster for the pistol. So the back of the figure is obviously going to be what's changed the most as well. Like you see, he's got all the additional harnesses and stuff going on. So you can see the harness, you can see the normal pack for the Scout Trooper, but again, it's got modified, it's got all that electronics on the top, and the wiring comes down. Now, you do have to plug the wiring into the battery pack yourself, and you can see, but there is a slot, but if you're not using the baton, you can just slot it in here like so, and it will sit there. My problem is that they've gotten you to Velcro the battery pack to the figure. Now, in most cases like this, I would say that they'd probably have used a magnet, but because obviously they've already had the bodies and whatnot, they have attached these two pieces of Velcro, and then you want this to stick on them. But the problem is it doesn't really do the job too much. Now, I did check the instructions, because yeah, the instructions tell you to just working like that, and like I said, it is fine, but it is going to, it's not the most stable thing. I did forget to mention as well that you do get the thermal detonator. Because this thing was so hard to put on like it always is, you've got to slide it under the belt and then put the battery pack on. I decided just to leave it, but you can see that he still has the Biker Scout version of the detonator there, sitting under the battery pack. So that is still all there. Like I said, this thing here, it's just like there, it's quite stable, but it has come loose a couple of times. So I would probably be mindful of that. I probably wouldn't play around with him at heights or anything, just in case it does slip off. You don't want your getting marked or anything hitting the floor, because there's white, it is going to scratch. So there's that. So of course we have the standard side, so there's no modifications for gloves or anything on this side. So again, you can see that the rest of the helmet is very nicely weathered. Coming down to the weathering on the armor there, you can see the elbow armor and all that coming down. And then you can see the boots. So at the end of the day, getting this guy is going to depend on how much you like troopers and how much you like army building. I do have one of each of the Biker Scouts already. So I have the deluxe Return of the Jedi and the deluxe Mandalorian, as well as the standard versions of those two figures. So I have 4 Biker Scouts plus the Sideshow one. So to add another one for a relatively alright price, like I said, $365, I thought was a relatively good price shipped. I mean, he might continue to fall in price overseas, I don't know, but again, obviously a lot of standard retailers aren't going to pass on that drop in price, and most vendors don't even pass on that drop in price. It's just good that we do have some honest vendors that do drop the price if it does drop overseas. So I believe last time I checked with Jefferson Tan in the group, he was offering it for $360 shipped. Sorry, $360 before shipping, so it'd probably come out to about $380 shipped, and that's why I thought that the $365 shipped wasn't too bad. But again, it could be cheaper now, so it's always best to check with Jeff before you buy anything, because sometimes you'll be pleasantly surprised. Like again, I mentioned in the Electro review that he was way under retail for Electro, and that's the reason why it took so long for me to get it, because I was more than happy to wait the 8-week shipping to get that awesome price, because she ships everything. But yeah, it is, like I said, it is going to depend on your love of troopers, whether you get this guy or not. At the end of the day, he is just a scout trooper with a couple of new accessories, but seeing that you see these guys so often in the game, I figured, why not just add another trooper to the collection, and build up the empire even more than we've already gotten. Because I'm always glad to see a new trooper. I'm always happy to see a new trooper. Um, I am on the fence about the two new reissues because they are the same stormtroopers. However, they've had their MMS number updated and the panels are actually different. The light up panel on the new one has a different light to the old one, and of course the Shadow Trooper never had that, so I am probably going to end up picking those up as well. So a lot of additions to the Empire this year. So touching on the fact that this is obviously an advanced figure, I'm not sure when Australian retail is going to get this guy. So Pop Culture, we're doing a really, really good job of keeping up, or Icon, I should say, we're doing a really good job of keeping up. And then there were a couple of figures, I don't know whether it's because they were in such demand in the US that our allocation has been pushed back due to the demand, and they just simply haven't gotten the full batches out yet. But there are a few figures that are starting to hit that 14-15 week mark since Sideshows released them. Usually, lately it's been 12 weeks, with a few being 8 weeks. But there were a few last time I checked that had already hit 12, and that was a little while ago. So I am expecting Australian retail to get a new batch in about 2 weeks. That'll be mid-June, hopefully. We'll see, but I'm expecting it to be a huge lot because there's figures, Padme, Battle Droid, Fox, Vader, Kenobi, the Black Adams. Yeah, there's so much. That 3PO 40th anniversary. Yeah, the list just goes on of figures that we haven't gotten over here yet. I don't believe this. I think this is way too new. So we'll probably see this guy around maybe August. That's if the current shipping methods are kept up. Maybe July. Might not be a far stretch. But yeah, I think it just depends on how popular they are versus how many figures they're sending over at once. Because it does seem that Australian retail wants to get as many figures at once as possible. Obviously that puts strain on us as collectors because you do the $100 pre-order deposit and you pay the rest, or you can pay it in full when you first order it. But yeah, getting 6 or 7 figures at once can be quite daunting. So we'll see what happens with that. As far as articulation goes, this guy's a normal scout trooper. You'll be fine. Just be mindful of the wires. You don't want to break them. And of course, you don't want that battery pack to fall off either. But yeah, I think this guy's really cool, and I'm going to enjoy having him alongside my scout troopers. Alrighty guys, this has been our look at our VGM 53 from Hot Toys Scout Trooper Commander. If you're not a member of the group already, do follow the link in the description of this video so that way you can join. And again, hit Jefferson 10 up if you are a member of the group and you are looking at buying figures and stuff. Sometimes he gets them before Pop Culture, sometimes he gets them just after Pop Culture, but normally his prices are well worth getting. Alrighty guys, thank you for watching.